coaching vacancies. This is the time of year, obviously, that you look at coaching vacancies and you look at how the world is spinning right now, and you say, okay, which is the best one? Which is the one that you think you could win fairly soon? And, it's a really, really tough call. Originally, I might say Indianapolis because of all the talent on the roster, but that talent on the roster played crappy in 2022. So I don't know if that offensive line is any good anymore. I don't know if you can trust the key players on that defense, like Shaq Leonard, to stay healthy. So I don't know what they are. Now, Denver and Carolina, to me, are fascinating teams. They each have good defenses, and they each have major question marks at the quarterback position. The problem with Carolina, in my opinion, right now, is that if they were to want to go get Sean Payton, I don't think the Saints would agree to trade him in the division unless they got Carolina's first-round pick this year. If they got Carolina's first-round pick this year, I would be very interested in that job because that defense is really good, and you can draft your quarterback of the future. So if I'm Sean Payton, I'm kind of interested in Carolina, even though I don't necessarily think that the Saints. You might have to fight the Saints to make that. But anyway, I guess when you look at these right now, Myles, what's the job that if you were a coach you might really want?
Well, I think Carolina probably is the best opening in part because of that defense, and part because of the resources that you're going to get from David Tepper, who really wants to win. And that division is not very good, right? I mean, this is a division where 8-9 was the winner of that division. And, who knows what Tom Brady's going to do next season, if he's going to retire or if he's going to go elsewhere. We don't know. But I think that particular team opening is pretty good because of all those factors. However, I think that is one job where you really should say, well, we know who that coach should be, because I think it should be Steve Wilkes. I mean, you can talk about anybody's interim job and what they've done. Steve Wilkes went 6-6 and had that team on the verge of a division title with, basically one hand tied behind his back. I mean, it's incredible the job that he did coming in when the team was 1-4 under Matt Rule, the quarterback carousel that they had to navigate, the fact that coaches continued to leave and he fired some of them as well. This was not necessarily the way he would set something up to win, and yet he was still able to do it. And you listen to what is coming out of that Carolina locker room with the love and the support that he has. I just feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. You stick with what you have there. And so that it's an attractive job opening, but it also is one that should be an open and shut case.
I'll give you mine in order right now. Okay. I'll give you, there's four openings right now, and it's not going to end with 4. But anyway, there's 4 openings right now, which is not many compared to 5. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Am I missing the 5th? Yes, you're right. I totally forgot about the Texans. The Texans, by the way, will be number 5.
It's because you think they're idiots.
I mean, Cal McNair. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. Okay, 5 openings. Number 1, Carolina Panthers. I love that defense. And unless you have to give away that first pick, you have the ability to bring Sam Darnold and maybe even P.J. Walker with a young quarterback who you won't have to rush into the job. And forget Matt Corral, who was a rookie this year, but who never got a shot because he was hurt early. You never know. But they're probably going to have to thin that herd this offseason. Okay, my number 2 would be the Denver Broncos, in part because I'm not giving up on Russell Wilson. I just, I don't know why, but I have this irrational thought probably that someone who really knows how to coach a quarterback, and I'm very surprised what happened with, obviously with Nathaniel Hackett, but I just have a feel, especially with that defense, that they're good enough to save. And I understand if you don't fix Russell Wilson and if he plays poorly again, I've picked the wrong lottery ticket. My number 3, and it's close because I don't really like them too much, is the Indianapolis Colts, because I believe that the general manager there is really good, Chris Ballard, and he's not going to get emotional about anything. I think he's going to be very clinical in his analysis of what has to be done. And also, they're in a division that it's not a long ride to the top. My number 4 would be Arizona. I think this is a lousy organization right now. And as I said at the beginning, I mean, this team absolutely, totally, unequivocally fell off a cliff in the last 13 months. That isn't only because Cliff Kingsbury is a distant dude and Steve Keim was battling health issues. And don't give me that. Tell me about the talent on your team. And tell me, is Kyler Murray a good quarterback, or what the hell is he? I don't know. And he's probably going to miss early next season. I laugh when I hear people say, oh, Kyler Murray, he's going to be back. He didn't have a terrible injury. They repaired it, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'll say the same thing I said when everybody was saying that Odell Beckham is going to be back in December. Stop it. Just stop. We don't know when Kyler Murray is going to play. But anyway, that's not a great job. And the last one, the Houston Texans. Any organization, even an organization that has the second pick in a draft with a bunch of good quarterbacks, needing a quarterback with a little bit of talent on that defense, anybody would say, well, geez, nowhere to go but up, bad division, everything. I get that. I just don't trust this organization at all. You don't fire your head coach 2 years in a row after 1 year. You don't do it. It's why would any really good candidate want that job? I have no idea. I would not walk away from any interview request. I would run away from an interview request with the Houston Texans.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.